All right, hello, this is, okay, there you go. All right, hello, this is Benjamin. Okay, this is Gameon20, all right. Okay, I'm sorry, I was looking at chat. Okay, so, all right, that's good. It's under development. All right, this is pretty standard. Even though you don't know, even if, I'm not sure if you know the book moves, but these are actual book moves for this opening. So far, so good. All right. Actually, I've watched a video on this. There's a trap here after this move against the perk. So I'm very curious to see if he would play it. I believe it's right here, and if I take, I'm not sure exactly if he's supposed to take back or not, or what the trap really was. I think it has something to do with this move here. It doesn't seem right to me. I know there's a trap with it. I never really encountered it, or maybe I encountered it and I avoided it, so I gotta rewatch it. Okay, I'm gonna castle. Because there's a hanging here, I'm considering I'm moving c6 because sometimes I can actually move the queen up to target and threaten pieces and threaten the bishop at the same time. But I do like your structure and your development so far in the opening. It is very, very nice. I do like it. Alright, so I'm going to think about plans and ideas. I'm thinking about going, like I said, c6 for a possible go over here. This is definitely a normal attack to come in. Usually when the bishop goes here, I can take if I want it, and the queen can come down. Sometimes I usually allow the capture so my king can go up. It really depends on what's going on the board. I am also considering just playing straightforward e5 or c5 right now. Now the bishop would be off the board if he goes here. So trying to think about what might be best for me. And at some point he's gonna develop his knight. So, and that would go there. I'm gonna do my normal development. Even if he goes here and I can't move my queen all the way, I can still move my queen. Even if I can't move my queen all the way, I can still move my queen here to target that square and this square at the same time. Alright. And he most likely moved this piece, so he can move his knight to which is actually probably a good idea if he's going to move his knight there. You just had to take care of something else first, and that was here, your pawns. It's not super bad. It's just a, it's just a pawn. Okay. Now if I take this now, he can move his rook over, and then after I move over here, I think I'm safe. I mean, he can come in, and I can move down. The reason being is because bishop's over here. If his bishop was over at this square, and that's not this square, but let's say if his bishop can go back to that square. If I go here, and he moves over, and I go back, and he can move his bishop over here, that can probably, sometimes that can be an issue. So I'm considering on doing this or not, and just moving back. Basically capture, go here, and then possibly move back here. It's a lot of moving for the queen. But I'm going to go ahead. My pieces are pretty much cramped. My bishop usually doesn't have good squares here. Usually can't, and this is pretty bad usually. So I will leave it here to defend this pawn, and I will just move my knight in, and possibly at some point, but definitely not to trap my queen. I gotta be mindful of my queen. Alright. I can just continue my development. I already explained why the bishop really didn't have any good squares here, and I wasn't gonna put him over here because of this pawn, because of this attack. In the perk defense, what I normally play, this bishop usually is kind of not very active. It's not something I concern myself with though. It's usually not that serious and it doesn't usually cause me problems. But I believe that's why this opening may be not very popular at the super high levels. Is probably because of this bishop, and activating all your pieces obviously is very important. So far so good. I like the structure. I do. Everything's pretty much defending, and they're all defending each other. It's actually, I do like this a lot. So everything's pretty much defended. The reason why I wanted to protect this pawn, really important, because he could easily go here, and if I move back, move his other rook over, and have a strong battery. So having this bishop here is really good. It means I can move my pawn up if I need to, it'd be defended, and it also means I can leave my pawn back if that would be a bad idea, depending on what's going on. So I like having that availability. Okay, I'm gonna because he's attacked only once, I don't need 3 defenders on him. So I'm going to be moving my pawn up. I like to bring my knight in to help create some form of attack, and also free up my bishop. Even though he probably wouldn't be developing, I like him to be able to. Okay. And this is the only good square for him. Now I have this threat, and he can take. And this right here is normally the problem, but it is defended with the queen, so he's okay. But this is normally why I like this setup, is because of the bishop will be under attack. So in this particular situation, he has it defended well. So that's really good that he did that. People mostly do that just to attack over here, but he did it to simply defend his bishop, and that was a good move. Yeah, after I get 1,000 subscribers, people can talk to me while I'm playing, and then I can like answer questions or talk about like grilled cheese or whatever. I mean, or whatever people wanted to talk about. So I'm definitely working on subscribers. I got think like maybe 30 something right now. I got like probably 20 subscribers in a week right now, and I'm gonna be working on it. I usually spend about 30 minutes to an hour trying to talk to people and push, so that way I can do live videos. I'm glad for the support that I do have. It's probably not as fast as I would like, but it's probably because my rating is not, I'm not Grandmaster or a Master, so I can't be too mad. But people are helpful because I'm trying to do free lessons, so, and I greatly appreciate that very much. I'm actually considering on, if I do become a candidate master, I am considering on keeping the free lessons, because this is going to help me because I'm going to have 2 hours with the class, and then 2 hours of studying, and then maybe 2 hours of games, and then after that an hour of reviewing my game and an hour of tactics. So I'm kind of thinking about going that route, and me being able to do lessons and so forth is going to help motivate me to play other games with people my level, and then look over my games and study and try to come up more material for under 1,000. So supporting me is actually helping me wanting to study more. So it's quite possible that your guys' support might actually even push me to that level, and I'm hoping it does. And I definitely would definitely consider still doing this if I feel like that's the case and that's what happened. I definitely would consider and continue doing this just because of that. Okay, so I'm thinking about taking this pawn here. I'm not 100% sure yet. He has different options. Obviously, he can take with his knight. If he takes with his knight, obviously that'll be a free queen. No, it's not. He'll move back. Sorry, it's not a free queen. Okay, if I take this and he takes with his knight, I can take his queen. Now, would he take this first? Call it check. I'm trying to think about different options because I don't want to blunder a move in the center. That's used to be my mistake before. When I got close around 1200, was taking stuff toward the center, not fully calculating, and then blundering or losing a piece or losing a pawn over it. So this is something I'm trying to learn for myself. So I'm going to look into it because it's relevant to this game. He takes, I take. This right here will be a bad move for him, but this move would be good. If I were to take back, then he'll take the queen. And that's an okay situation. I would have to move my pawn up and then to get my bishop out. And I have enough taken away where my bishop would be at a decent square. Now, a different option would be if I take it, and let's say he didn't take this. He takes this, take it back. He also can take it with his other pawn. Then I can take here. It'd be a different situation. I think both are fine. So I'll do it. It doesn't matter if he takes this way or this way. It looks like both will be fine for me. So I'll just go ahead with that. And if I want to move my bishop, I'm going to have to move my pawn up one. So I'm going to have to make sure that my queen is safe because he won't be able to run back. So I might move my queen back here before going up, depending on the situation. But it looks like that's what I might have to do. Okay, he takes that way. Now, I already reviewed this, so this is what I wanted to do. Okay, he took back that way. Now, I can double his pawns, so I'll do that first. He can take, and then I can take this way. Okay, now that that's taken care of, he has dark square bishop, so my light squares are not going to be an issue. So I'm going to, normally you kind of want to keep your pawns in your light squares if your opponent only has a dark square bishop. But in this case, I'm putting it on the dark squares because I want to find a way to limit his bishop and activate mine. Because if I put him on light squares to make sure his bishop can't do anything, attack my light square is going to be blocked in. So I want to keep my light square bishop active. And this is a backwards pawn. That's what's considered. It's because this pawn is not defended by any other pawn. and it can't be. I mean, unless I move it up twice. So I'm going to attack this pawn right here. I don't see how he can defend it, so I'm just going to go right ahead. He is going to probably go here and attack again. I can go back and defend, by the way. That's why I didn't defend it immediately, because it wasn't necessary. I try to explain as much as I can why I do this. So this is a free pawn. So my job right now is to attempt to find. This is why double pawns are bad and isolated pawns are bad, is because they're easily attacked. Okay. Trying to figure out what the best moves are. I'm thinking about moving up here. That way in the future I can move this pawn up one, and then I have a nice bishop here with my 3 pawns, and try to use that for a winning endgame. So I don't want to take it, which means I want to go here first. In order to have my bishop here and all that attacked would be, ooh, I was planning and I didn't look at tactics. So yeah, tactics are definitely first. I wasn't paying attention to tactics because I was just planning, and I assumed I had it covered. So that was definitely my mistake. So I'm gonna move this pawn up one. He might come here. If I take, he takes, and I go over one, which will lead me to a bishop, rook, and to the rook ending, which should be drawish for me. I should try to figure out how to go about that. So, okay, he's not going for that. That was actually pretty good. So I'm gonna not sure if I want to move it here or move it here, because I don't know if I want to double my rooks anywheres or if I want to keep them both on the back rank and connected. Because of all the pawns, I believe it's probably better if I move up one, because I don't want to target it just to target it, because he would just move back. Alright, attack his bishop. Okay. And if he moves his rook down here or here, I can defend these pawns very easily. So I'm just going to go ahead and march in the center. Even though I don't have both my bishops for the plane, I only have one. I still can consider it because I have double 2 pawns over here. Okay, he's doing that. I'm going to get my king in the action. That's a bad one. If I go here, he'll just take it for free. I definitely do not want to do something like that twice. Okay, move this up. This is a nice pawn chain. Do you want to take? Do I not want to take? I don't have much time. I can actually move up one, but yeah, I can do this because it's defended by my rook. So if he takes, I can take. I kind of want to have my king in some form of fortress. I am considering going here to prevent him from moving down if he doesn't already. If he doesn't move down, I'm considering going here. That way, if he can't go down without this trade. I might win on time. There's no time control bonus. So okay, I'm gonna go here. I'm not gonna try to think very much because of the time. Okay, I'm going to attack the knight. I do blunder checks. Okay, blunder checks is basically me checking where his knight can attack. Okay. Well, I got lucky on time. Okay. 4. I'm going to try to move a little bit faster for myself after that time issue, but I'm going to have to, yeah. Yes, you are. I didn't see any actual blunders from you that I can tell, so. Okay. Yeah, black it's difficult to learn how to play with black. It really is. I was with black until I learned the perk. And the reason why is because I was comfortable with it. So I'm gonna castle. The reason why I got better with black after learning the perk was because the perk can be used with d4 or e4 against either or. Now this is basically, I can transpose this into very similar to the Evans Gambit. The difference is that it will be like Evans Gambit with his knight here, which sometimes isn't a good idea to have your knight here. So I think it's a little bit better than a normal Evans Gambit for white. I'll probably share my what I've learned on the perk with him. There was a different YouTuber. He's a national master. I think his name is Robert Ramirez. So he has lots of videos on the perk. So I will not be teaching that yet. I'm still learning it. When I play, I'll talk about a few ideas here and there. So this is basically the Evans Gambit setup. He takes, I take. That's usually how it works most of the time. And it's called in Italian game 2 nice defense. It's basically transposing into Evans Gambit in a way. Now, if he moves back, my favorite thing to do is bishop a3 to cause problems here. Most people will move d6. I go up 1. If he takes, I take. You know, there's a lot of exchanges here that can happen depending on the order. So, okay. Okay, this is pretty much standard. If he takes, okay, he did not take. Now, my thing is, what do I do here? Because if I take this way, and let's say he castles, his rook will be here, obviously, and then if I move up, I will be threatening his rook and the bishop. If I take this way, I'll be threatening his rook and the queen, and he'll probably take this way, and I get to take his rook and 2 pawns. Can I go after here? Can I just go here? No, because he can just castle. So I'm going to take. He probably might use his knight to capture back. I have the ability to move my rook over. I'm going to try my best to tie his king to the center and prevent him from castling. It's usually difficult to do, but it's something that I have practiced with when it comes to the perk, is trying to prevent my opponent from castling. He can block with his bishop, and if I take, he takes. I take with check, and he can move back. I'm not entirely sure if after he moved his knight here, if my capture was a mistake or not. I think it was fine, but I'm not 100% sure. You can play these moves into a computer program to see what mistakes I've made, and when I explain things, you get to see where I was correct and not correct at. My main focus usually is blunders with this group. Okay, so he moves over to side 1, completely avoiding. Alright, well, this is pinned now with the bishop. Now, how do I continue after that? I can go here, and if he tries to threaten them both, I mean, that's not a check anymore, so it's not a real threat. I can move this up 1, threatening pawn and his knight. If he takes, I can take. I want to be able to push and attack. So because I want to push and attack, I gotta find aggressive moves, because he's out kind of in the open and his king's not castled and his rook is not gonna be easily developed. So I want to attack as soon as I can. I'm not sure if my knight is good here. If my knight is good here, I think this is a bad knight move because this pawn is defended once and attacked twice. So I think I should move my knight up 1 or this knight over here to attack. But if I move this one first, sorry about that, if I move this one first, he can go here, pinning the knight to the queen, preventing me from going up. So I should probably go up now, because I think that would be bad for me. And if he takes, instead of taking with the rook, it would be better to take with my pawn because of the pin. Which means he can't really capture. But he can capture the pawn. And capture this way. Or this way. Ooh. Just ignore that. He can capture this way because it would be attacking my rook. So I might have blundered. Yep. I can go here to attack the queen. And if he takes it, I can go up and attack here. That's an in-between move, so it wasn't really a blunder. It was a mistake on my part because I didn't see it, but I am seeing that I can counterattack, which is something you should look for when you think you made a mistake, is how to counterattack. You have no idea how many times I saved myself. So it was an actual mistake, but it would have been a mistake because I didn't notice it. But I did notice it, so now it became fine. So yeah, definitely when you think you blunder like I did, definitely look at it and don't panic and try to figure out what to do. You know, super important to look at the position and be like, what is the best thing I can do here? What can I attack? What can I target? whenever you think you blundered or lost a piece like I did, is super important, and you just seen why. So hopefully that's educational. Even though I made a mistake in explaining and I thought I did something wrong, hopefully that is educational for you. So he's doing that. I'm thinking about just moving my king out the way, and the reason why is because I'm still threatening the queen. He takes, and what? But if I just take this way, if I take, he can call check and then take my rook. So bishop for rook, or move out the way, he takes the knight for free. I like this here, and he calls check and move out the way. He takes the rook, but my knight here isn't, I can move him out the way. Yeah, I like this better for me. Okay, I'll go out the way. He can now have the rook. I'm thinking about calling check. He takes, calling check. I think this is very bad for him. He can't move back because it would be checkmate, but he doesn't have enough choice. I just got kind of lucky in the counterattacking. My pieces were just developed properly and towards the center and pretty much the chess principles. So yeah, if you learn chess principles, you can get lucky like this sometimes. So, all right. Okay, it's the last game. Last game. Last game. And good game at the same time. All right. So this is the perk. Again, he beat me last time. I blundered. I don't have very much. I don't have very much counterattacks in the perk. Mostly it's very positional. So if I make a mistake, it's just, it helped me out positionally learning this opening. Before this, everything was the way it was before, and it was pretty wild. And I would get lucky, kind of like I did. And I enjoyed some of my games like that, but after a while, I'm like, I can't be lucky up the ranks. I can't be lucky forever, and I can't be lucky being, if I wanted to be a professional at some point, I can't play lucky chess. So that's when I started trying to learn more positional stuff, and that's where I started to get into the perk, because I felt that it will help me break out of trying to get lucky. So, all right. Maybe I should take. I think I will. I'm gonna have to learn this setup and structure because I think I've seen it before. I think he has it in his videos, and I don't remember it fully. I mean, there's so many variations that I learn the basic ideas of it, and then I try to analyze it each and every time. But after seeing this more than once with the same person, and the fact that I'm supposed to be help teaching them, it's like, well, he's making it sure that I understand that I need to study this specific setup more. So that's gonna be beneficial for me. So definitely don't want his knight in here with his bishops attacking the way they were. I like doing this to attack his light square bishop and activating mine at some point to some type of square. Now I can go up and up to get this piece, but I won't be able to do that unless I go here. So I think this game I'm going to go here instead and do this for the purpose of the free pawn. no possible free pawn, because there's no guarantee that I would be able to do that. But I think last time my queen was way out here, and I was doing all kinds of weird stuff, and then I eventually ended up blundering. So I don't want to do the same thing again. I'm gonna move up. I can also move my bishop here to attack this pawn twice. Okay, so if I take here, let me think. If I take here and he takes, and I take and he takes, this looks extremely drawish. So I'm just gonna do that. I'm gonna just go into an endgame. I like that he has really good blunder control, so I'm just gonna go into an endgame because that's probably best. I probably could have just taken here actually. The whole point I was trying to take this pawn. I think I got confused. Go back. I did all that work for a pawn and I didn't take the pawn. I hope he sees this so he can understand he got in my head, because the last time he pretty much, I still consider it a win for him because that was pretty much a win. He just lost on time. But this time I want to get into an endgame with him. I'm going to go up, and then if he goes back this way, start attacking that pawn. I think that'd be best. If he goes this way, obviously I can move this pawn up one, and then go here and here. So I want to attack this pawn. I had it for free. I dropped it. I'm gonna get it for free again. I want this pawn. It's by himself and it's away from everything else. Okay, so let's attack it. Take. That would be free unless he decides to move his rook there. Okay. I can actually take this now. But if he takes it here, I can take his bishop, and he can trap me off a little bit and take the bishop back, which is perfectly fine because they'd be trading bishops. So we will be trading bishops this way. Unless he goes over here. Because if I take this, then that'd be kind of bad for me. I should go up one. And force the situation. Thinking about taking here so his queen can come over, and that would allow me to decide where I want my other pieces. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna put his queen over here away from the action and start marching my pawns up and getting my rooks involved. Yeah. I'm not sure if this is better than this. I think this might be better. But I don't like it because it's not defended. So I'm going to keep it defended. The reason why I was thinking about here is because it'll allow me to move this way whenever needed. But I have this square. I don't need to be over here. I mean, unless I was going to go over and start attacking this way. But my plan is to move up and use my rooks to support. So first thing first would be supporting my pawns. Still can't believe last game. Not last game, but the first game I did bad, then I got lucky. You know, the second game I understood why I got lucky is because I put the chess principles in play, and it usually works out. It's really strange. It really is. But developing towards center, threatening stuff, you know, doing different types of, you know, cutting the king off, and it's just, it usually works just fine. All doing all that stuff together. Move up one, because his bishop can't attack it. So, okay, that's pretty good, because now if I go up, he can take, and if I take, the queen can take. Okay, I gotta start being very careful. Oh, another thing, he can take this right now. So, yeah, that's basically the whole point of going here to defend it, but I can't defend it this way. I have to defend it this way. But if I defend it that way, hold on a second. If I defend it this way, he has this. And then if I use this to defend it to keep this pure, he has this. But then I can take it with my bishop. So this is actually probably the best way to defend it. Okay. That's a little bit more complicated than I normally think. Alright. I might go up here to block him off, but I will weaken my king side. I mean, he can take this. I can take it, which, ooh, that is kind of bad for him, because that would be kind of for free. Even if he can go here and call it check, I can just move my queen here. He has to move the queen out the way. Even if it's here, yeah, that'd be really bad. So I'm gonna do this. I think it is perfectly fine for me. I didn't want anything strange happening, but tactic wise, but that's perfectly fine. Okay, so I'm gonna move this pawn up one because I want to move this over to attack here. I mean, he can defend it, but I want to have that pressure. And it's defended by my queen. Alright, soon I want to be able to move up one. I can't yet. I should be able to after I go here and then here. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go right here first. Now he can double up on his rooks. That would allow me to do this immediately though, because now my pawn's not being threatened the same way. It wasn't threatened twice now, it's only threatened once. I can take. Ooh. Alright, I can threaten his bishop. Okay, I'm gonna have to move my queen king to the side of the board. Probably somewhere near my queen. I did miss that threat here. It wasn't that I seen it and I know how to defend against it. I simply just missed it. I'm not gonna lie to the people I'm talking to, or teaching, or playing with. And I realize I have to just be more solid with my calculations. I do very general thinking sometimes, and I'm like, oh, I'll be fine. And then when I tell myself that, because I think I'm fine, I'll play like I'm fine without calculating. And that's pretty bad. I've lost a few games because of it, and that's something I'm trying to work on. And this group, I believe, is going to be very helpful with that. Because I feel like I'm not teaching what I should be teaching if I'm doing stuff like that, you know? So I get to move over. I'm not worried about him because my rook can just take it if necessary. Now, if he moved his king over and his rook over, then I wouldn't be able to wait till the end. I'd have to come in a bit early. Okay, and go up one. Excuse me. Okay. He's attacking this pawn twice. If I move it up one, he'd be attacking this pawn twice, but it's defended twice, so it's fine. This has to move or capture, which if he captures, that would be okay. So now to think about which pawn move to do and how. I'm thinking about just going up here, because if he takes, then I can take, and if he tries to defend, I can call it check. But if I do that, and he takes, and I take, his queen can come up and take. It's not good for me. I might threaten his queen first to see if I can get him out of the area, or do a different move, like up here, and then down here. If I go here, and then down one, what would he do? If I go up here, let's say he moves his rook over, and then I go down, then he takes, then I take, then his queen takes. And then if I go up here, it can be taken by the queen. And if I take, I think this is fine. I think this is it. And I had to lock the queen off because next move I'm going up one. And he can take if he wants, I can make a queen. So that's fine. And this is fine here too. If he takes, I take. Okay, I can take this way. Alright, that's not bad. I'm going to go up here to force this, and if he goes down, I can just do that. That was a bit more complicated, but it was very good. I'm not very good at explaining complications that, well, it's not, I'm pretty sure not complicated for many people, but it is kind of for me. I have a very difficult time explaining complications for myself. So good game. Good games. Game review. I got 9 blunders, so I definitely want to look at that. No need for me to look at games that has 0 mistakes, 0 blunders, really, for the most part. Let's see. No. Book, 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 book. Isn't this a book? I thought that was a book. Yeah. 52% win rate. That's not too bad. Alright. That's good. Excellent. Good. That's considered good. Excellent. Accuracy. Take. Alright. Opening for most part is good. I overlooked an opportunity to develop a piece. So I would assume that that's a good. Yeah. Okay. Okay. So this is bad, apparently. So I guess I'm supposed to take this first, and then after he takes, do something with my pieces here. Threaten winning material. No, I know he's talking about besides this. I don't see anything else to threaten. His pieces back here are pretty safe. All of them. This is the only one. And I don't have, this bishop can't threaten it. My king can't threaten it. This rook can't threaten it. This is the only piece that, yeah. Only piece that's threatening something. Missing a winning move. I missed a winning move. Okay. I was thinking about going here first, so I'm going to check that out. Yeah, that's what I was thinking about doing first before moving up. But what's best? I don't really understand that. I mean, what do you do? Take this? It's best. That's best. Okay, I'm assuming this is what was expected. And here's the winning part. Okay, it makes sense. If you want to defend the pawn, he would have to go here, but this looks bad. Yeah, that looks bad. So then I go up, and then I have these past this pawn that's passed, and I had a double attack here. Okay, that makes sense. Alright, back to the game. Let me see where the game is. Okay. Ooh, he had a great move. Alright, that's definitely worth noting, so you can see that. He did a great move. Let me see something. Now I don't feel so bad for missing it. That'd be bad. That'd be really bad. The other move I considered was this one. Alright, yeah, this is going all over the place. I don't like going all over the place when I play chess. So, alright, that's pretty cool. Alright, that was a good game. I just wanted to go over it real quick for myself because I was confused on why I have so many blunders. Alright, that was a good game. That was